All right, folks. Welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. A lot of you guys have been requesting me, Rudy, you haven't spoken about Lego. I'm sorry, let's trigger some people. You haven't talked about Legos in a while. That's correct, everybody. We haven't had a Lego video update. And I thought this would be a good time because after 6 months of pre-ordering and waiting, I finally got my personal position of the Bricklink program. So, unless you don't, believe it or not, the public, most people aren't even familiar with what this is. The Bricklink program is kind of a private, these are still by Lego. They are Lego official sets that are made and produced, and essentially people vote on them online and they make these kind of custom fancy little sets, and they've done it for a little while. It's been around, it's not brand new, and I just think it's the coolest thing ever. I just personally enjoy them. I get 2 of each. My son and I usually, we'll make a big castle. We'll probably make one of them, and then I usually just keep one sealed. Historically, these things tend to be pretty demanded for. Not all of them go up in value, but for example, I'm pretty sure a sealed Mountain Fortress castle is probably more than the $460 or something that I paid for on eBay. If somebody wants a price check, you can go on eBay, type in Bricklink space 910029 or Mountain Fortress. You probably can't even find one of those unless you pay double the price. Anyways, so today we're going to have a conversation update about Lego investing, Bricklink, the specialty program that kind of Lego, I guess, runs or under, I don't know, it's a complicated thing. And I want to give you all my opinion of where Lego is since it's mid-2024. It's been many months since we've talked about Lego. First, let's kind of get some things out in the open. Buying sealed things like this, yes, some of them will go out of print after they make them. They sell out. Sometimes the demand's too high, Mountain Fortress. And from day one, by the time you get it delivered to your house and it finally shows up at your basement, a $400 or $500 set could be $700, $800, $900 to $1,000 and just double in price, and you make free tendies. Yes, things like that happened. Now, is this something you should be kind of putting on a credit card and hoping you can just flip Legos? I will warn you up front, most Lego sets, that is not possible. And just trying to do quick flips in Lego will lead you down to a very disappointing path. That you are not going to... See, the problem is people who tend to get lucky or they hit it big on something and they hit some sort of lightning in a bottle, they tend to be very vocal about it and they tend to get overly confident about it. And then those are the type of people that tend to post a video about, hey, I pre-ordered the Mountain Fortress and I doubled my money and made 80% return or 75% return after shipping and fees, and literally I just didn't do any work and I made free tendies. Those stories do happen. They are legitimate, but the context is very murky on those. It's like Magic the Gathering, sealed product, Pokemon. On the surface, yes, sealed Magic still performs. I know that's like a hot, evil take. Guess what? Scarlet and Violet in the Pokemon era, which everybody's been trashing the last 18 months, I actually think has been doing really well. I have some updated Pokemon videos coming. Apparently, even the brand new Pokemon, the Twilight Masquerade, remember the Eyes Wide Shut set? Apparently there's, it's already hitting all-time highs. It's only been out a couple months. And apparently TCG Player went from like $100 at the low. I think it's like $120 to $130 before tax. It's already been swinging. Even Paradox Rift, which was like 80s and 90s at the low, of course, going to zero, is already like it's the Scarlet Violet market's been swinging way faster than I expected, but this is not a Pokemon video. So back to the Lego situation. There is no easy money. If you're a Lego fan, which a lot of us are, we grew up with it and everything, you can't see. This is the disappointing part. When they run Amazon Prime days, Walmart stuff, clearance stuff, Costco stuff, you can make money in Lego. There is opportunity for doing the flipping and drop shipping or fulfillment by Amazon, all these things. There is nuggets and chunks of truth to it. The problem is when you really want to be specific is historically, like sealed Magic the Gathering investing, is many times, even if you make money, the time and patience that it takes is not something that most people are willing to kind of go the distance to be worthwhile. That's the issues, okay? I believe our biggest fallacy in modern culture and economy is this side hustle gig economy online fueled by social media and programs and entrepreneurship and how to 10x this and how to make more money. And all these things online are geared to everybody who wants to better their lives and has good intentions, but they're looking for a piece they're missing. They're looking for that jump start or something. And the reality is life is not like that. It's just some people, every once in a while, will hit that lightning in a bottle. And they'll hit it big, and that's awesome for those people. But on a large scale, it will not happen to most people. Most people, we do need to take the longer, slower, grinding path. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, like I did in my long 50-minute rant video a few weeks ago, I was just, we have a major issue with the perspective of society when it comes to the whole NPC terminology. And it's, you're a loser if you work a regular job. We have a major, what I feel is a cultural problem that is not rewarding and has become a stereotype of like, oh, you're a loser if you work a regular job, or if you're a teacher, a firefighter, oh, you're a police officer, oh, evil. Or you join the military, you help the country, oh, you're patriotic, you're bad. All these things, we've shifted in this strange social world. But the reality is things are slow moving, and there is nothing wrong with engaging in hobbies like Lego, back to the video, and actually enjoying those hobbies and not losing all your money or making some money out of it. Or, I've told everyone from the beginning, with Lego, if you enjoy Lego, maybe you do it with your family. My son and I do it together. It's our person, we love doing it. We build castles, the haunted houses, we build restaurants and stores and things. We love doing it. So for me, if I see an Amazon Prime crazy thing that's 30, 40% off and whatever, and I can get almost BOGO on a Lego set, okay? If a $100 Lego set and I can get it for $55 out the door, yeah, I'm gonna buy the 2, 3, 4 of them cap, because I'm going to open one and enjoy it, and the other 3 or 4 I'm going to put aside because I have the ability to do that. I have the resources, the space, and storage, and I can enjoy and take that path. Is every Lego set going to go up in value? Probably not. And the current era we're in 2024, in today's Lego sets, what do you think, Rudy? Are modern new Lego sets going to perform? I'm going to being honest with the whole thing. Most new Lego sets will not perform. But the ones that do perform will outperform more than you can comprehend, because that's the way the world works. The things that you like, people right now, like, let's use an example. So this new Bricklink Mountain Fortress, crazy. Everybody loves Lego castles. They're just the king. And, I pay, let's just say 500. Let's round it up. It was like 470s or 460 shipped and everything. Let's say 500. Okay, if that thing's on eBay now for 800, okay, a lot of people are going to flip it and say, hey, I can make $100, $200 just flipping something. $200 for doing nothing. This is great. And that's after shipping and fees. That's great. But there is a real probability that in a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, that set could be $1,000, $1,500. In a $1,500 set, if you paid $500, or even today, if you pay on eBay for $750 or $800, there is a good probability that that sealed Lego rare desirable set can go to $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,500. Hell, it could probably go to $2,000 in a long enough time frame. The question is, how much time are you willing to put under the belt, and how much patience, and how long are you willing to tie up capital? And is that the best direction for you? Do you have the ability to store these things? Do you have the discipline to not just, get drunk one night and play strip Lego with Rudy's ex-girlfriend and, just literally just start building all the Lego sets in the middle of the night and have fun? You have to have the discipline to enjoy it and go on that path. And for most people, it's not a good fit. For the average person, Lego takes up more storage. They're more box sensitive. The people who buy the Lego sets tend to be more sensitive on the condition and everything. And it's, it is a higher risk, heavier item to ship. Now, if you love the product, just like Magic the Gathering and trading cards, there's nothing wrong with engaging with the product, using, and of course, having your kind of financial interests in mind to help soften the blow or to make money in the hobby that you enjoy. You can't make money in most hobbies, but a lot of hobbies, especially in 2024, there's interesting opportunities, okay? So I do believe, yes, there are going to be Lego sets in the future through Bricklink and through regular Lego stuff or exclusives or limiteds or gifts with purchase or whatever it is. There's going to be Lego sets that are still going to go up. There's going to be Lego sets that are going to make you go, oh my God, how much is that? That Simpsons house now? How much is that now? Wait a minute. That set from 2-3 years ago in 2020 during the virus time is how much? It's only been a couple years? That thing's tripled? That was $30. It's $100. You're going to have examples of random sets that are going to do that. There are so many new Lego sets produced, and there are so many people into well, not as much now, by the way. It's died off some. The Lego flipping and the Lego investing culture that took off in the COVID era, a lot of that, just like collectibles, just like comics, just like video games, just like Marvel, Flair, X-Men, as with most collectibles, let's see, what else I miss? Comic books, video games, cards, pinball machines, vehicles, the boom and bust of the car market. I remember even the used car market. Remember that? Car dealerships couldn't get used cars and the prices went crazy. Everything got distorted. Everything got distorted, okay? And now that we are back to normal, well, I guess we can call today normal. Feels kind of like we're in a bizarre world still. I swear we're in the Matrix, folks, and I swear we live in a simulation sometimes. Some of the things in the world, I swear, is just too weird. But there are so many Lego sets being made now. And the Lego investing culture is more mainstream. Now, that is the bearish case for sealed Lego in the future. Now, the bullish case is that I would say 50 to 80% of the people who are into flipping Legos are long gone, okay? The COVID bear market of 2 years of 2022, 2023 reset flushed out most of the short-term dumbass flippers in all asset classes. They're gone. Wall Street flipping their day trading stuff, the graded video games, flipping magic cards, Pokemon, standing in line at Target for the Pokemon restock to dump them on eBay and TCG Player. That short-term attitude of things is over with. And honestly, everybody talks about how, God, Rudy, I wish we could have another 2021 era. I'll be honest with you all, I kind of don't. I think what we experienced in that COVID era was a once-in-a-lifetime black swan event. And the way it changed people's attitudes towards the market, towards each other, towards YouTubers, towards LGSs, towards distribution. I don't think it was good for anybody. Sure, there was moments of crazy money that could be made, but then everything tanked and you kind of, unless you sold at the perfect time, which, as you all know, I'm never good at that. Look at my old videos. And it's really not worth it. Remember that anytime you go through bear markets, historically, that ripple goes through and kind of resets and removes wealth from everybody in the entire ecosystem. So now that people are like, oh, Rudy, look at Rudy making a Lego investing video after Lego's dead and nobody does that anymore. It's all collapsed. Nothing goes up anymore. Amazon dumped Legos and, you're trying to have a toy store with Legos. Everything's a waste of time. I've heard it all, and there is truth to that. If you think opening an LGS or card store is bad, my man, open a toy store. Open a board game store or a toy action figure Lego store. Work with a Lego distributor and order a pallet of Legos and get like 38 to 42% off MSRP. And then the next day, Amazon has a sale for 40% off and your customers are getting it cheaper than what you even can buy it for, and your price is MSRP on your own store or website. Yeah, try doing the Lego industry. You don't want to do that. You think the LGS card world is bad? You ain't seen nothing, Buttercup. That's like level 10. That's like literally playing Mortal Kombat and like the evil Goro. Isn't that the right character? Or did I just ruin this meme? Goro, the four-armed, like crazy muscular evil thing. Hey, whatever. What the hell am I talking about? Back to Lego. I think there's still opportunity in Lego. If you enjoy it as a hobby and you do want to have some extras for the future, I don't think, as long as you're not overpaying, for most Lego sets, I want to leave everybody on this. For the average Lego set, as long as you're buying a Lego set that's MSRP at 100 and you're buying the Lego set for between 60 and 80, shipped to your door, not 85 plus tax, you're paying 95 to your door, so it's a $100 set and you're 95 out the door. If a $100 MSRP set you can get on sale, Costco, Amazon dump, Jeff Bezos, whatever, as long as you can acquire sealed Lego sets that are $100 MSRP and you're getting into that for that 60 to 75% range, getting that 25 to 35% off MSRP to your door, shipped, not plus shipping and tax, I don't think your downside risk is so minimal. It becomes attractive because if you do that with 20 Lego sets, even if 2 of your 20 Lego sets, like 1 in 10, even if 10% of the Lego sets you enjoy, the extras you buy, spike in price, you're going to come out ahead. Even if 5 out of 10 Lego sets you buy literally just stay at MSRP and you have to break even after shipping and fees, hence 75 cents on the dollar. You sell it 100 cents on the dollar in the future. Even if it never goes up, you just have to sell an MSRP, and you unload those. Even if you just have one in every 10, all it takes is one of those to go to 2, 3, 400. And, you enjoyed your hobby. You got to open stuff, and the little, that spike alone is going to cover and turn you into a profitable thing. So you get to enjoy the Lego industry, open and build stuff. You get to keep really cool ones, and you actually don't lose money. So there is a strategic approach to doing that. Now, you are not going to become a multi-millionaire. You're not going to build a big Rudy empire going big on Lego. Okay? There is no Lego set. You cannot cover your head in Legos. You cannot, there is no way to scale and build like a multi-million-dollar mega Lego empire. Maybe one or two people in the world will be able to kind of pull that off. Maybe they were into it for a long time. Special access, certain location with certain maybe competitive advantages. But overall, there is very little competitive edge. And there's very little to really make a big splash in the Lego world. I like to cover it because it's an interesting niche little market that does have a lot of money and a lot of people involved. And I don't think it's taken seriously enough. I really think that it became a hot thing during the virus era. And I feel like now it's really died down. There's still some people that discuss the Lego and the Bricklink and what I'm buying on discounts and long term and retirement of the Lego set and when it's going to spike. And then all of a sudden, this has been retired for 2 years and Amazon gets a bunch of them again, restocked from Lego, and they start dumping them. There's a lot of confusion in it. But to remind you all, Lego was not insulated from the rest of the collectible world. In the COVID era, Lego ramped up manufacturing, not printing like cards, but they ramped up manufacturing, the quantity of sets, they ramped up the whole thing. So a lot of the sets that we all have that are sealed from that era are not going to appreciate and go crazy like you originally may have thought, okay? Because a lot more people may be hoarding or holding those particular era products. Now, doesn't mean there's no future for it. It just means that the actual velocity, the rate of change as it climbs will not climb as, that steepness, the slope is going to be shallow. It's going to be a very slow rate of change. The degree of uptick is going to be a lot slower, it's choppier. It's not going to have parabolic moves. You're not going to see something like a $100 Lego set immediately just jumps to $300 like a Pokemon Sword and Shield or a booster box or something. It's just not going to happen. But to end this video, I'll say one interesting thing. You truly never know what future black swan or cultural change can happen. And there's no way to calculate the value or the impact of what that will do to any asset class. A good example for you, and I'm going to end the video. Think about Magic the Gathering. 8, 9, 10 years ago, there was a set called Battle for Zendikar. Had masterpieces and lottery cards. Through the bear market crash, completely tanked the price from a high of $200 a box all the way back down to like $100, $110 a box. It was another example. It was one of many examples that people used against me as why Rudy's business model is dead and it's all ruined everything. And that's what bear markets do. They make people, they crack people. Well, I just want to, follow up. I had a bunch of you all, some patrons messaging me saying, Rudy, at least mention this in a video. So here I am. Well, in the last 6 months, this $200 booster box that collapsed in a bear market all the way back down to about 110. In the last 6 months, it went from the low 100s all the way back to an all-time high of almost $200 a box. So just to give you guys a summary, even though products tend to move in certain patterns, we don't know ever what's going to happen. And there's no way to predict. A sealed product of Magic or Pokemon or Lego, it's old, goes out of print, retires, whatever. And then it starts drifting upwards as that bottleneck starts to continue to increase and supply goes down and people still buy the product, right? And then, you can have a 2-year Lego bear market. Or like we saw with Magic the Gathering in the card world, a 2-year collectible bear market in 2022, 2023. And it could retrace all those prices back down. Okay? But as I've done some whiteboard videos and discussions with you all in the past, when we have retracements a second time around, when a $200 box of Legos or a $200 old Magic set goes from $200 a box back to $100, okay? The recovery, the second time around in the next market cycle, will happen faster and more aggressive because there's less players and less people holding because everybody jumped ship in the previous cycle. I know I'm getting a little kind of wordy on it. I'm not, probably need like a whiteboard on this, but it's important to understand that. Okay, I don't know if that made sense to you all out there, but as long as a few of you all kind of picked up on that, just remember that. Just because a product climbs in value and then collapses in a bear market, not because of the exact product, but because of the overall market. It's not product specific on why the item dropped. That's a different conversation. When it's more of a macro reason that causes something to drop in value and not the item itself, that is a very distinctive variable that makes me very bullish to move in heavily. You know, maybe Rudy's got to manipulate the market. Maybe Rudy's got to jump in and deploy a lot of capital. Maybe Rudy's got to jump in and say, wow, wait a minute. That $200 8-year-old Magic box just went from $200 a box down to like $110? And how many's available? Well, instead of hundreds, Rudy, you know, this time around, they crash. It's like 15 boxes. I'm like, wait a minute. So I deploy like $5,000 and I buy like 12 of these 15 boxes for half price and it goes right back to $200 to $250 a box? Well, essentially, you know, the rules are different on future market cycles, and you can't use previous behavior and price history to judge, well, Rudy, it took 5 years for it to go up in price last time. It's going to take 5 years this time. And that's a fallacy. So I just want to leave everybody with that example that prices, when we have reprints in a Lego set you thought was retired, gets reprinted or restocked on Amazon and you think, oh, that's it. Remember, just because it took years for it to do something and something negative against your current position happens, doesn't mean the same time it will happen again to recover. It doesn't mean you're going to have to repeat history, okay? Pokemon has a lot of data with Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, and reprints of Lost Origins and Silver Tempest, and even I can go further, XY era Pokemon, evolutions, different things, Primal Clash, Ancient Origins. I went through all that, and I can tell you all, every time the additional layer of reprint came, the market recovered quicker. You can't take the previous data and just move it forward and say, okay, this is what's going to happen, because it doesn't work that way. I hope that helps a lot of people out there. Conclusion of this video, each market cycle will move prices differently. Historically, every additional market cycle, the prices tend to move quicker because the product's older. That's number one. Number two, Lego, as with all collectibles, they are a great diversifying class for long-term kind of, even wealth building, kind of parking money into different collectibles. They're a great component of a portfolio. They do not make a portfolio. Do not take it out of context. Say, Rudy, I'm not going to have a house or the S&P 500. I'm just going to put it all inside of your face. I was going to say your mom's face, but I didn't want to be inappropriate. But, so yes, people will take things out of context and do that, but don't do that. Collectibles are an amazing piece of a portfolio. Collectibles are not a portfolio. Real estate is not a portfolio. Real estate is an amazing piece of a portfolio when you combine it with cash and collectibles and Bitcoin and stocks and bonds and mutual funds. Like when you build that together, each category is going in different directions. Well, sometimes everything moves together, 2020. But overall, they tend to have different annual returns that average together and help you navigate an uncertain, unstable world. Very instable, a lot of instability. And collectibles are very good with some of that. From a guy who was involved with Magic and Pokemon in 2008 and 9, I can very clearly tell you all, I had a lot of money in the stock market, the bond market, and in real estate. My real estate in 08 and 09 got annihilated. My stock market position in the S&P 500 I was down 35 to 40% from market high of Dow 14,000 to Dow 7,000. Okay, same thing with the my bonds held up pretty good, and I can tell you all for a fact. The other thing that I know people don't want to hear, well, my sealed Lego sets back then didn't really go up or down, and my very high-end old vintage Magic and Pokemon I think they stopped going up. Maybe they dropped 5%. They just kind of stayed flat. It just kind of sat there. So these categories, and by the way, my real estate did tank, but I still had the houses rented and the tenants paid their rent. So technically the value of the property, and I was upside down. I had no equity in the rental houses, but the tenants just kept paying the mortgage at the time. I was very young in 2008. And that was one of those things where I just kind of stayed the course and it fucking just worked out. So it's important to put it all together, okay? Just remember that, folks. I know you enjoy Lego. I know you all enjoy trading cards, but you cannot put your life into, don't be like Rudy. I don't think a Rudy situation is repeatable. That's the problem. I think the rules of today, the economy of today, and the difficulty of duplication today is way too high. So I don't think you can be a Rudy 2.0 per se. But I do think there's still a lot of opportunity in all these different asset classes. But it takes a lot of time, and you must be diversified. And you cannot go all in just Lego or in cards or in just Bitcoin or in real estate. The key is to have all these different things and kind of put them all together. And I think you'd be very surprised what that can do in a 10-year plus time frame. I hope you guys learned something. I think the Bricklink stuff's pretty cool. Have a beautiful day.